there! Welcome and welcome back to the Whole Bucket. And welcome to Dephemerember Magical Creature Day. It is December 13th, but it is the 7th. It is the 7th prompt. And let's see what we do about magical creatures. So, this is the story of Effie and Ember, right? Bestest friends. Effie met Ember when they helped the broken butterfly Remy. They made salvaged birds for Effie's yard. They did Halloween stuff. They had a temporary separation where Effie had a little stress for being away from his new buddy. We talked about Effie has his favorite holiday. There we go. Effie has his favorite holiday, but when he came back, Ember says, come on, let's give up the Halloween right now and let's do some winter Christmassy stuff. So we have some cards in here, etc. I didn't show the other cards, other pages. But then yesterday was Kintsugi House's day. I think I'm going to regret how I ended up finishing up this page because I haven't stopped pulling glitter off of everything since. But if you saw me make the houses, we got done with that part, right? And then I finished this page, the background bit, by creating a snowstorm. So not Revy, that's my cat. Oh my gosh. Effie and Ember were hanging out making these kintsugi houses out of gingerbread because Ember found it in the bakery that he had talked about before. She had talked about before. Anyways, she brought all these pieces of gingerbread and they put them together and made gingerbread houses. And then they made this little scene and they had a snowstorm. It was just a crazy snowstorm while they were doing this. So they had a hoot of a time, right? Just hunkering down at Effie's house making gingerbread houses. So I added the background. I went like, yeah, you can see the background sparkles, right? And then I added some lamps and there's a little bit of a light glow behind the street lamps. And then I added a bunch of snow and glitter. I think I'm going to be really sorry for that. And then all of the houses are tuck spots. This one looks like it might need a little pressure to conform. And I think I may have glued this one down too much. I don't think this one's going to be a tuck spot. It was going to be. It should have been, but whatever. This one is, and this one is. So I'm going to end up creating some little tiny cards that go in there. They might just be this brown cardstock, but they might end up being cups of cocoa. That would be fun. Okay, so for today, the snowstorm has cleared, and the village that they live near is covered in snow, and it's beautiful. It's sparkly. It's creating sort of a calm hush over everything. They decide to go out and do some window shopping because the stores have, fabulous, wonderful, beautiful things in their windows, and they're all lit up pretty with tinsel and lights and baubles and what have you. So Effie and Ember are out in town window shopping. That's important to know. That's important to know. So I have a whole bunch of supplies over here. And as you know, or maybe you don't, if you don't know, I also created some extra prompts for me to follow. And the one that I need to follow today is called, or is calling card. I chose the 15 for today. The 6 is for tomorrow because I accidentally picked 2 numbers. Today's cookie number 15, is wafer rolls from Turkey. Now, I don't see how anybody could ever get these wrong because wafer rolls are delicious and I love them no matter who makes them. And they're vanilla, so I don't see how I'm going to get that wrong, or that could be bad either because I love vanilla. Manufactured for Allied International Corp in the U.S., made in Turkey. So these are made in Turkey for an American company. Whatever. I don't care. All I know is I love these things. This is what I expect. I expect that this is going to be crispy, flaky, that the filling will be a tiny bit grainy because for whatever reason in this particular cookie it seems like it always is, and I don't mind it. And I hope that it has a nice vanilla flavor because I do like the subtlety of vanilla, but it needs to taste like actual vanilla. Okay, ready? Yum. Oh my gosh. Super flaky. Super flaky. And nice vanilla flavor. I think it's imitation vanilla. But that, I mean, I think that's going on all over the place. Vanilla is hard to find, isn't it? Let me see if I can tell. Yeah, it is. Oh, it is imitation and real vanilla. So, okay, that's a good way to do it. Because vanilla, I don't know if you're paying any attention or if you're a baker, but vanilla is stupid expensive these days. Good grief, man. So, that's probably why I wasn't entirely sure. Because it's got a little of both in there. And oh my gosh, the flakiness is amazing. The cream in the center, actually, yeah, it's grainy. Not too much though. It's a lovely vanilla cream. So, vanilla cream, wafer rolls from Turkey, and today's prompt that I chose for myself is called a calling card. I have some supplies set over here to my side that we're going to be using, but the very first thing we're going to do is collage leaves onto this page. Because I want that to dry while we do the other things. This figures, so I had everything ready to go and off to the side here, and there's like a crucial part I can't find. That does not surprise me because it's really just what I do. Okay, let's get the leaves going and then maybe I'll find it. So I want to take these winter leaves and I want to create just a collaged background out of them. Looks like maybe I didn't do enough of them, but I do want them off to the sides and stuff. So this might work just fine. We'll see. We might just do a thing just like that. Okay. Now, without showing you, without giving away everything, let's just measure a little bit. So if I do one envelope here and the other envelope here. Oh, they're right on top of each other if I do that. That is not what I wanted. I wanted one off to this side. Maybe that's how I'll decide where the leaves go. I'll just use I'll use the envelopes as little props to help me. And you know what else I can do? I can get a pencil and ever so faintly mark those. Okay, yeah, that works. So this is going to go right here, and this one is going to go right here. And let's get some leaves. We need a big one under there, and a big one under there, and a medium one next under there. That was a bit tricky. Uh-oh, that's not good. Those are too similar. Let's put that one aside for a second, and maybe instead of a medium one, maybe we'll go 2 small ones. So maybe we have this one next, and then this one. And can we maybe put this little one out the top? Nope. Out the top up here. Yes. And maybe this one. Can go right there. Let's take a look. Not too shabby. I don't love the balance, but I don't hate the balance. Okay, so first thing I want to do is get out this thing, because I did already shimmer this page a little bit. You can see that, but I want to add more shimmer. So I have this thing called a sheer shimmer stick with a dauber top. I wish they'd make more things with daubers, but I'm just going to go like this. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that kicked up the shimmer. I need to kick up the shimmer right here. Did that work? A little bit. Good enough for me. Then, what did I say I was going to do here? I was going to have this one first. This one behind it. And this one coming out the top. I think like that. Now I'm going to sneak a speck of glue on each one to get it to start sticking together. And then over here, I wonder if maybe I want to switch this. I'm going to try something. What if I have one section going up and the other section going down? And what if I just get over the fact that this is too similar? Because it's not the same. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I should have prepared more leaves. Because I kind of want that now. Let's see what it looks like if I put the envelopes back on. This one. Oh, I can't see my lines now. I kind of erased them. Kind of, but not completely. This one's got a scoot. Scoot your patoot there, little Mr. Envelope. I'm going to turn this one the opposite way. Have it more like that. Okay. Yep, I thought so. I do like this better. I do. Okay. So then, if I want those just like that, I need to get some specks of glue under there too. Right there. And right there. Just to kind of hold them together. All right, so some questions and some comments and some stuff like, how is your Dephemerember going? If you're doing it, if you're not doing it, what are you doing this season? If you're a baker, what are you doing in the baking department this time of year? Because I know some people who do a lot of baking this time of year and they make amazing things. I am not one of those people. I have done it. Historically speaking, I have. But it's not something that I do anymore, and it's not something I ever did all that often. Also, it is holiday season, right? There's like a million holidays this time of year. What is your holiday this time of year, if any? Because there are holidays in abundance. Okay, so before I put those down, I'm going to make sure that I have them in the right place. The only way to get them in the exact right place is to have these envelopes where they belong. And the only way we can do that is if we get the envelopes ready to go. So I have this new thing I want to test out. A glue sponge in a box. Now I'd imagine you can just make these, right? So when this is empty, I might just try to refill it with my own stuff. But for right now, I wanted to try this out because I found it on clearance. And the idea is that you can put stuff like this where it's really hard to glue because it's got all these frilly bits. And you can just put it in on this sponge and it will get glued. Now, I'm still getting glue all over me, right? So I don't know how fantabulous this is. Okay, so, oh wow, and it's not sticky. Well, okay. I must say that my first impression is this must be why it was on clearance. There we go. Nope. Still sticking to me more than the paper. Eesh. A cleaner way to glue. I am going to try that more on my own time. Not on your time. And because, you know what? It really just doesn't matter that much because this glue stick dries clear. I'm just going to go like this. Glue the whole gosh darn envelope. And put this on it. There we go. It did warp the envelope a little bit. That's not cool, but it's not the end of the world either. And then I'm going to wrap the sides around. So I'll just put glue in a little hill. Try to mimic the doily, I guess. And then like that. And like that. And we're going to let these two parts stay up like that. So now we need this to dry. Whoops. Wrong way, Feldman. So now we need to set this aside and let that dry because that's going to be a big mess. Let's get the one on this one. And I will just do it the same way because that little experiment in the box over there just, that did not work. It just didn't even stick. I mean, if you're going to be a glue, you need to glue stuff. Maybe that's just me being picky, right? It's just me being extra picky, wanting my glue to glue. There we go. I think that's about center. Same thing on the back. We're just going to fold this over a bit. I heard another artist say not too long ago when she turned stuff over and it was dirty like this is why we have to grunge. And I laughed so much because that is exactly why I have to grunge either. I get color everywhere. I get stuff everywhere. My mats always look just atrocious. I like it when they're new because then I feel all fancy for a little while, but they're stained and unrepairable shortly. In quick order. I don't think that's ever going to change, and it's okay because I like the grungy look. But if I wanted to do neat and tidy, I might have to hire somebody because I don't know if I'd ever get it right. Okay, I'm going to let that sit aside for a second. And then, you know what? Let me see if I can find the missing thing. It's not very exciting, to be fair, because it's just this, and there's another one somewhere that exact same size. And I need them. I need both of them. Oh, I think I found it. I don't know how it got under stuff, but yeah, there we go. Is that going to fit in the envelope? It is, but it's way too short. So, we're going to do some stuff with this. First thing we're going to do is take a ginger scrap. And we're going to... I'm not sure how I want to do this. So I think I'm going to take the ginger scrap and do a stripe of glue. I want to get it covered, but not necessarily completely covered, and certainly not neat and tidy. So I'm going to glue, but not all the way to the edges. Same over here. I'm going to glue, but not to the edges. And that one I glued to the edge. Oh gosh, it's a creature of habit, I tell you. Even when I'm saying I don't want to do that, I still do it. Oy. Okay, so then I'm going to flip this over. And we're going to let this sit for a minute too, because I need that to dry. Just not necessarily all the way right, because I'm going to tear it. But I want this colorful sparkle on this side. While that's taking a minute to dry, I'm going to show you calling cards is my self-imposed prompt for today. So I have created some writing to put on these calling cards. And I will show you what they say in just a minute. Let's cut them out. Some jaggedy edges. This is just one of my very favorite cheat tools, this decal edge scissors, because I need to mix up the way that I use my hands, right? So I can tear like I'm going to on there, but not as much as I'd like to. So when I can't, or just to save when I can, not using my words very well right now, but I use this decal scissors and it's just lovely. It's just lovely to have this. So, there's that one, and there's this one. I'm gonna edge this, and while I edge this, I will read to you what it says. This one says, I came to call, but you weren't home. I can't wait all day. Off I have to flitter. That's what it's going to say on one side of the card. On the other side of that same card, it's going to say, you are the bee's knees. You are the cat's pajamas. You are the unicorn's glitter. And the other card is going to say, you were away when I came to call. So I left this card instead. Just to say you are loved and awesome, but don't let it go to your head. So, these calling cards. Sweet and surprising and a little silly and a little snarky. At least that's what I was going for. Those are edged and ready to go. Let's see if this is ready to be torn without coming off. The answer so far is yes. So here's what I want to do. I came to call, but you weren't home. I can't stay all day. Off I have to flitter. And then on the back, I want it to say, you are the bee's knees, you are the cat's pajamas, you are the unicorn's glitter. One thing though is these are too small for the envelopes that I want to use, and I want to use them. I don't think I needed to say that twice, but I did. So I thought maybe, I don't even think this is going to be enough, but I thought I'd use these little scrolly bits to add like a handle to the top. Also, I think I will corner these. I guess I'll do this little tiny corner maybe. I don't use this flat cornery one once. I always use the rounder one. So let's do that. And then let's do the edging, because it is required that everything ever has to be edged. Because my brain cannot handle it if I don't. Someday I'm going to create a journal, or at least a small project of some sort, where I don't allow myself any edging. And I'll have a nervous breakdown, but I'll make sure that I record the whole thing. We'll just see. We'll just see what happens. Be ready to call 911 for me when I do that. I'll have to get a channel moderator just for the day, just in case there's an implosion of some sort. Are there any crafting habits you have that you have to break? I mean, I can't be alone in that department, can I? All right, let's see if the other one's ready to tear up. Oh gosh, I love the way that's doing it. Look at it's got that edge there. Oh, and it's really wide there. Oh, I love it though. Okay. This is exactly what I wanted it to do. Okay. Set that ginger scrap aside. Let's see here. Let's cut these edges, or these corners, I should say. Then we're going to quick edge this puppy. Okay. Uh-oh, you know what? This is going to mean it's not edged on the back enough for my liking. Let me just grab a speck more ink so that it'll go faster, but I want to, there we go. That's more like it. That's what I want the back to look like. This one too. You can see that I'm pushing a little harder on the sponge and going in a little more on the cardstock because I don't have the decorative paper on the back. So I want a little bit more of a vignette feeling going on. Okay. Let's get one done. I came to call, but you weren't home. I can't wait all day. Off I have to flitter. The top, which is the bottom. I think it goes like this because I said so. I think it goes like this. I think I'm mumbling to myself, and I don't think you're going to be able to hear some of the things that I've been saying. I apologize for that. That is ever so rude. And let's put this little scrolly bit up here. And I think I'm going to use my other glue for that, just because I think it might be a little stronger. And I'm only gluing a small edge, and I don't want that to fail. Now this is going to really bug me, because you know what? The back of this is going to be all white on top. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what I'll do about it. I don't know how to change this now that I've made these decisions and it's already on there. So, I might change it at some point, but I don't know how, and I don't know with what. Watercolor paint might be my best bet. Or, wait, I have an idea. Wait, I have an idea. The same ginger scrap that's on the front. Could I just glue this side down and then tear it and let it either be even with or stick out the top? I think I totally could do that. Let's do that with this glue, because I don't think I can get the glue stick in there good enough. Okay. Okay. That will solve that problem. As long as we do it to both of them, it should look like it's on purpose. All right, let's see what we got for this one. Right there, I think. And there, and this one goes on the front. You were away when I came to call. This one's got a shorter sentences, so it's got a lot of extra, paper space. I have an idea or two for that, but it's not something that I'm going to take care of today. Because it's going to require a different kind of project. Like, for instance, I think that I could emboss a little decorative thing right here. Or I could stamp a little decorative thing even, but I don't have stamps out right now, and I didn't choose any for this project yet. So, also, I always go through journals or projects. I keep saying products. I always go through the journals I make or the items I make and add little details later. In this case, it'll be to even this up and to hide my black fingerprint that I just put on there. Oh my gosh. Whatever. Anyway. I do creation a lot like I do collage work, because I start with the biggest bits and bobs and I work my way down. And I just get littler and littler and littler till something's done. So this piece just isn't done. I just need to get littler bits for it. Okay, let's get the glue on this back part again. So we can let it dry and tear it off the back as well. I'm kind of liking this idea, even though it's to solve an issue. I'm glad that the paper is now going to be on the back and the front of the card in one way or another. That will be lovely. Now, you've probably already noticed this, but in case you haven't noticed, or just for me to clarify out loud what I'm doing, the winter leaves are going to become part of the story in a few minutes, so you'll know why they're on here story-wise. But other than that, the winter leaves kind of match the coloring in the storm and the glitter. The paper that I've chosen here matches the colors in the gingerbread houses. So I'm taking the focus color from here and adding it as a hint over here. And the background color is a focus color over here. It makes this whole thing just feel like it's supposed to go together. So next, let's get the leaves and the envelopes in place. These should have dried a little bit. This one apparently dried a little too much because it's stuck to my desk. And I think I'm going to switch which one goes where, because I have some things that I think I have to do, even though there aren't any rules. But a darker color should be at the bottom because it's more of a base. And my brain just apparently doesn't want me to do anything different ever. I'm just going to put a thin bit of glue on the flap of this envelope. And we're going to figure out where this was. Looks like right about here. Yeah, I'm going to glue that flap down so that this envelope will open this way. I just discovered something that makes me think I'm going to be sorry I did that. All right, and the purple one then, same thing. I am just not too fancy, just putting a line. I think I need more of a line because I didn't get very close to the edge. When I squish this down, I don't want the glue to ooze out, so it glues the envelope shut, right? But I don't want the edge to be flopping around either. Let's see here. So this one looks like it goes right about there. All right. Let's get the leaves on. This one goes here. Yes. Okay. I guess I'm just going to use this piece of paper for gluing. I am making a disaster of my desk right now. It is so crowded with Dephemerember stuff and kitties. Okay, just one kitty at this particular moment. But lots of Dephemerember stuff. And because I like to repeat things that I use so that it feels cohesive throughout the journal, right? I can't put anything away when I pull out something new because I need to use it again and I'll forget where it is or what it was or whatever. So it all ends up out and on my desk. By the time I'm done with any given project, it's amazing you can even see my desk. I do clean up before I get to the little bits though that I talked about earlier, where I add little touches to even things out and to add the bling or I don't know, whatever I decide I want to add. Bows and pulls and tabs and stuff. There are so many little things to add. And whenever I get to that point, I do clean up my desk so the little stuff will fit better. I do. I do, she says defensively with a little bit of a whine in her voice. And then I just make it a big mess with beads and pins and tiny ribbons and string. Because it's tiny things. It's detailing time. There we go. See what we got here. Okay, and we just have one more little leaf that we're going to put down here in the corner. And then I will show you what's next. I'm excited about what's next because this is where the whole story comes together. And illustrating the story of Effie and Ember is got to be the part I'm having the most fun with. Okay. I don't want to draw too much attention to it because it might then end up driving me nuts and I'll change something, but I want you to notice that I did not edge the envelopes. I did not put any borders on them. It's kind of a little bit stressing me out. I'm not going to lie, it is. So here is what's happening next. We have some little friends. Because it's Magical Creatures Day. So, these guys started out as Christmas elves. I'm thinking you can probably see that. But I don't really want a Christmas journal, right? I'm thrilled with winter. We got a Halloween meets Christmas page here, but it's not overly Christmas, right? They just have their Christmas hats on. I don't want to go overly Christmas. So, these magical creatures are going to be Christmas elves, but they're also, or maybe more so, fairies. Christmas, no. They're winter fairies is what they are. And we have to get these guys edged and glued down to their respective envelopes. And we have to glue their wings on. I did gloss their eyes, so they look kind of cool. Nice and sparkly. This is another thing where when I get to the little tiny details, I'll probably add some beads to their hats or their dresses. Maybe it's another space I will get out glitter and then regret that I've glittered for months on end because glitter doesn't ever go away. Okay, there we go. Let's do the wings. I do want to do this, so I'm not doing the envelope, and I'm not going to go backward and do it. I'm just going to live with it. Although you can tell it's bugging me because this is like the third time I've mentioned that it's not edged. But I do want to do the fairies because they're very pastel-y, and especially the wings, and I'm putting them on pastel envelopes. So I really want them to be outlined so that they show up nice. Also, I think I'm going to pull over that shimmer stick and add some shimmer to their wings. Because I feel like fairy wings should be shimmery. All right, there's that one. One more. One more. This is a hard one to edge because it's got so much little bits. It's got little tiny bits going on. You just bend it backward and forward and all that, and once you glue it down, it won't matter. I mean, don't rip stuff, right? But don't be afraid to just bend it. Don't fold it either. I mean, hard creases aren't going to come out, but if you bend stuff and you glue it down, it'll all end up okay. So let's pull that cheat paper, or that blotter, whatever this paper is. Oh, and I'm putting the glitter on the back. Somebody's getting tired. Okay, we got a bunch of glitter on that one. Let's get some glitter on this one. This is the kind of glitter I can deal with because it's going to add shimmer and sparkle, but it's not going to get all over my house. Unless my cats try to eat it and then it leaks, because they did do that with a wink of Stella once. I have a cat who likes to eat my pens, and I had to store them differently because he would get ink all over, he would get marker all over, and he ate a wink of Stella once and it leaked all over. This is very much like wink of Stella, but I don't think he could eat this. This is sturdier stuff. It's a bit sturdier. So the bigger elf comes to the foreground, and she gets these slightly bigger wings, and I want them at her shoulders. So I'm going to put a little drop right there, and look/guess where her shoulders are. Let go of me. It's stuck to me. There we go. About like that. Let's see. Okay, that's a little too low for me. Yeah, actually, that's not where I wanted it anyway, so. What do you think? Like that? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now we're just going to try to mimic that on the other side. Should be easy peasy. We shall see. Speck of glue. See what we got. And then she's going to go right there. Super cute. Super cute. And I'm messing it up. I'm sorry I'm messing up your wings. I didn't mean to. There we go. All right, let's let her dry a speck. I moved her wing again. Let's put her down carefully and let her dry before I wreck it another time. All right, this girl, oh, she needs some color. I didn't do this one. This should be easy and quick though. This one should be quick. I think she doesn't really have any rough details. Okay, maybe her legs are going to be a little tricky, but see, I told you, you can just bend stuff out of the way. And then I'm going to, yeah, see, it works. It totally works. If you were afraid to bend your stuff, don't be. Bend away. Okay, that little corner is hard to get into, but that's all right. And I got the edge of her hat pretty dirty, but that's also all right. I didn't realize this till just now, but she has a little feather in her hat. That's so cute. So cute. Okay. So, in true junk journal fashion, these are wings off of something else. And I didn't want the whole wing. So now I am salvaging fairy wing bits by using the leftover scraps on another fairy. You never throw away scraps if you're a junk journaler. You can use almost everything. I mean, I do throw away scraps, right? But it seems like you could really use anything. Never really know what to throw away because there is a use for everything. Really. Okay, there. She's going to go right there. What do you think? Okay, so here's where the story comes in. I can finish up by gluing down these little girls and finding the... Oh, that's right. They're glued on here. We're going to pull those off in just a minute. Let's get these girls glued down. I'm going to do this super careful. So just the top of their hat and their legs don't need to be glued. Which means wherever this ends up, somebody's going to have to be careful. Because I imagine they can get wrecked pretty easy. That's not good. But I didn't want to chop their legs off. And I didn't want to make them any smaller. So there it is. I'm just going to have to be careful with their feet. Okay, there's that one. Let's get this girl in her place. So, at the beginning of tonight, I mentioned that Effie and Ember went out window shopping. So, they are out after the people have gone home to bed. It's nighttime. Sometimes Ember picks up Effie and they fly around. Sometimes they walk about together. And they're just looking through all the Christmas windows at all the beautiful things. Ember especially, you know, likes sparkly things. Because she does. It's just true. And after a nice evening of going around town, looking at all the spiffy things, they're on their way home, right? And they are almost to where Ember's nest is. And Ember's house comes first. And as they're pulling up, as they're pulling up to Ember's house, they notice a glow. Like, they don't know what it is, but it's a glow. And they start talking to each other. Like, there's some awe going on, right? They're like, what is that? What is that? Ember is first afraid that her house is on fire, but the glow is blue or purple or something. So, okay, it's not a fire. And they try to get close enough to see what it is. Only just when they get up close enough to maybe see, the light vanishes. But then there's all these sparkles falling, right? Like a sparkler, like when you light it on the 4th of July, and you watch the sparkles fall and fizzle. Only this time the sparkles don't fall and fizzle. The sparkles fall, but they get bigger and bigger and bigger as they fall. And they turn into these super cool colored leaves. So they follow the sparkles and they investigate, and they're looking at the glow, and they're like, have you ever seen leaves glow like this? No, I've never seen leaves glow like this. But this isn't what was glowing, and where do you think they came from? And what do you think the big glow was? And oh my gosh. Anyways, they go on and on and on about trying to figure out what in the world that was and what caused this and where did these leaves come from. And it's just astounding. It's astonishing. It's beautiful. It's amazing. But they don't figure anything out, right? It's just a mystery. It's just a mystery. So then they decide to give up. Okay, they don't know what this is. It's just an amazing, beautiful thing. It's just it's just a topper for the night. It's a fabulous added thing to a fabulous night. Okay, cool. Well, then they're heading, so they head off after a couple of minutes. They're not going to get anywhere. They don't know what's going on. They head off to take Effie home. And Ember is walking Effie home at least halfway. Ember's like, I'll walk you home halfway. Effie, now I don't need you to walk me home. Yes, I'm going to walk with you halfway. Okay, walk with me halfway. They get halfway, and Ember's like, I just want to walk some more. So Ember keeps walking with Effie because, you know, that's what kind of friend Ember is. They get about 3/4 of the way to Effie's house, and they see another glow. And the exact same thing happens. They try to hurry. They kind of run, right? But as soon as they get where they think they're close enough to see what's going on, can you see something? I don't see something. Hurry! Poof, it's gone. And again, there's glittery, shiny leaves falling to the ground that grow bigger as they get closer to the ground. It's ridiculous. Well, then, Effie notices something on his door. It's a little envelope. And he opens up the envelope, and it has this card in it. And the card says, I came to call, but you weren't home. I can't wait all day. Off I have to flitter. You are the bee's knees. You are the cat's pajamas. You are the unicorn's glitter. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Where did it come from? Who was that? What is the deal? Well, again, they can't put it all together, and Ember is so excited about this card. And then she ends up going back home, right? And she found one in her nest. And hers says, you were away when I came to call, so I left this card instead. Just to say you're loved and awesome, but don't let it go to your head. Oi, oi. I knew I was going to regret that. 3-ring binder envelope is in the way. Anyway, there we go. We have calling cards left by fairy elves, winter fairy elves. Although Effie and Ember don't know that's who left them their cards. But it is, in fact, fairy elves that left them their cards. Winter fairy elves left them calling cards. And they missed meeting them by seconds. They talked about this the next morning over coffee. They investigated things at lunchtime to see if they could find evidence. They collected the leaves so they could add them to their art projects and tried to figure out if they came from real trees. And if they did, where are those trees? Because they want some of those kinds of trees. That's my story for today. Those are my magical creatures. There is my kintsugi houses and magical creature spread in my Effie and Ember storybook. I don't even know what to say. I'll see you next time, I guess is all I have to say. Bye.